Okay, we're here. It is November 10th, and Vegas is at it again.
One festival wasn't enough. They had to go reach into the new metal bag now.
The new world. And you. What a missed opportunity on their part to not spell it that way. It's
Oh,
crazy
they
though.
should have did that.
Yeah, I know. What were they
I just realized
thinking?
that now.
It's pretty nutty though. And like it's just another great lineup. Like they're just like, oh, all the 30-year-olds want to spend money and go to concerts. So let's just keep doing that. And I think it's a great idea. I just wish it wasn't across the country.
Is it really $600 or is that just people complaining?
I saw someone say that, and then someone said it's 250 for the weekend. It's actually way better than when we were young. So I think some people were just like exaggerating.
I would hope it'd be better because I feel like nothing against this lineup, but I feel like the When We Were Young lineup was significantly better.
It's just different. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, this definitely when we were young, it was like I could close my eyes and throw a dart and hit a band I liked. And this isn't quite the same. But I'll just read some of them off now. System of a Down, Corn, Deftones, Incubus, Evanescence, Turnstile, Chevelle, Papa Roach, Flyleaf, with Lacey Sturm, who
The
was like,
original singer.
yeah, I didn't even know that was like a thing, but that was
I
a
didn't even
thing.
know she left.
Yeah, no, she left and she's back. Before that, in 2012, she left, and then this singer Kristen May stepped in, and then she was with them till 2016, and then they just weren't a band for a while, and now Sturm returned. So I don't know. I don't even know like why they broke up or anything, or why she left in the first place, rather.
I know she put out like a solo album and it was like huge in the I think the Christian music community,
Yeah. Oh, I did see that. Yeah, because they're even Flyleaf was like on the Christian charts.
which I never realized till I started digging into Flyleaf a little yesterday.
Yeah.
At least their Wikipedia page. I didn't listen to them, but
You just read their wiki. That's fine. Oh, yeah, it's a pretty crazy festival. Then there's like a lot of like 100 is it 100 gex? You
is
ever
it
heard of these?
Placebo 100 Gex? Is that the whole band name,
No, I think it's
or
two.
is that two
That's
separate
two separate bands.
bands?
100 gex is like they just like do these crazy like remixes of songs, like wear wizard costumes. They're really weird. I don't know. I don't know what their deal is, but I would 100% go see them if I was at this.
What kind of like? I'm a big mashup guy. What kind of
The one
mix
I
ups you
listened to
talking?
was they had like a One Step Closer by Linkin Park. That was good. I mean, good. I don't know. Their bio is so funny. It says, I'll read it right now. 100 gex is a duo between Laura Less and Dylan Brady, scavenging scraps of musical influences and welding them into dangerous machines. They destroy the competition with their army of lethal bangers. Critically heralded as very good and music, their ambition knows no bounds.
At least they're self aware.
Yeah. And all their pictures, they're like in these wizard costumes. I don't know what their deal is, but I'm all about it. And yeah, there's some crazy ones. I was listening to this band, the Melvins are on here, who I know like Kurt Cobain was like hugely influenced by. Very like metal punk. They're definitely like a huge influence on a lot of people. So that's cool. They're like older, so I don't know. I
And
think
then
people are excited about it.
didn't we see Killing Joke open for Tool?
Maybe.
I feel like that
Uh
was one of the openers at one of the two shows we went to.
it's possible. I don't recall. I know there was the other band with the chick who peed on the guy. They were they were also opening, but they didn't open at our show. And then Valo, I don't know, but he's the dude from him, his Infernal Majesty.
He's him.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what his deal is, but I saw the logo and I'm like, that looks like the him logo. So then I looked it up, but I used to be pretty into just this one album, Dark Light by him. Vampire Heart, Wings of a Butterfly, Killing Loneliness. Oh man, it was a great album. All right, but so I have a question for you, Brett.
Is this the
Yeah, this is like a quiz.
teasing quiz that we talked about?
Yeah. So you're looking at the lineup, or it doesn't really matter if you're looking at it. Well, no, it matters. Are you
Do you want
looking
me
at
to
the
now look
lineup?
at it?
Are you looking at it? No,
I
you
want to
should
take a
be.
peek.
Yeah, you should
Okay.
be looking at it. All right.
Okay.
So looking at the bands on this lineup, what songs do you think are the most streamed on Spotify?
Am I giving a top five or like
Yeah, go.
the most streamed?
You could go five. I have six here because there's I'll tell you all of these six are above 300 million, with 300 million being the lowest of these six. So what what do you think? Like what? Because there was one that came to mind first for me, and I was wrong.
So my first guess is going to be probably what we were talking about pre-show. Although this could also be a curveball from what you just said right now. Is Chop Suey one, or is that not one that you expected?
It's on the list. Do you
Okay,
want to? I want you to guess the top of the list and subsequent guesses. So it's Chop
let me look at
Suey.
the
Yeah, there's some big songs on this.
Freak on a Leash.
That's on there. So you got
Part of me
two.
wants to guess that's the top, but I'm not giving that as a final answer yet.
Okay. You've got two. You've got Chop Suey and Freak on a Leash.
Bring Me to Life.
That is also on there.
Last Resort.
That is also on there. You've got one. You've got two more.
Drive.
That's also on there.
Ooh.
One more. I'll give you a hint.
Aerials.
No. Well, actually, that's a good question.
I was debating between that and Toxicity.
Um,
I feel like they have
no.
two of the top five
Uh,
or
I
two of the
didn't.
top six.
I didn't think of this. Toxicity should also be on there. I just took the top from each band I was thinking of. So yeah, Toxicity is also on there. And there's one more as a fellow grocery
it,
store worker
and
in
it's
our youth.
oh no, it's the reason.
It is the
I didn't have to look at the lineup. I knew.
it is the reason. So, all right, so I'm gonna read out the numbers. Which one do you think has the most?
Freak on a Leash.
Regana Leash has the least.
Really?
Really?
Bring Me
Uh,
to Life?
that's third.
So it has to be Chop Suey then.
It is. So we
Okay.
have Chop Suey. I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna
I guess that
read
makes
the
sense.
specific number because that's just reading a lot of numbers. But Chop Suey has 900 million streams. Last Resort has 839 million streams. Bring Me to Life, 708 million streams. The Reason, 693. Then Toxicity at 579. Then Drive at 420, plays it. Then Freak on a Leash at 325 million.
That's really low for Freak on a Leash. I mean, I know it's 325 million, but I feel like
I
that
think you
song
got
was
to look
just
at it
basically the video
as
is more popular than the song.
I think some of these like transcend like Freak on a Leash is extremely popular in the world of people who listen to this music, but like that's why well that logic I don't know if that really puts Chop Suey at the top, but like for instance like Bring Me to Life and like The Reason, like those are songs that are bigger. Like you don't have to listen to music to even like know those songs. Drive
That's a
should
good
kind
point.
of
But
maybe fall in there.
Bring Me to Life was massive.
Yeah.
I
I
feel
mean,
like that
it's third,
if streaming was
708.
around then, I feel like that'd be in the billions right now. 'Cause everyone like was addicted to that song.
True. That's true. I wonder, I feel like all these songs generally came out at the same time.
They did like
Chop Suey
early
might
2000s.
might be the oldest, which would pad the stats a little
I
bit.
think
And
Freaking Alicia's
2001 is Chop
Freaking
Suey. So
Alicia's 99
uh
or 98.
98. Yeah.
98. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Just thought it was interesting.
Issues was 99, I think.
Yeah.
My corn knowledge.
We're on the cob tonight. This whole podcast is on the cob.
That
No,
was
it's
interesting with all that you just said, though.
right.
That there's the Deftones are one of the highest listed bands here, and they're not.
No, the Deftones weren't even like close. Like, I mean, close is relevant, but like Change in the House of Flies has 200 million. That's their biggest
I think with I'm trying to
with
figure out
Maynard.
the phrase, but I think the this what's the phrase? That the sum of their parts is greater than the
Greater than the whole.
yeah. But I feel like maybe that doesn't make sense here. But like
Oh,
like they have like a string of albums in a row where every single song is good, and
Deftones.
some of these bands don't have that.
Yeah.
I
But
feel like they have a
you don't
better
need that.
catalog than some of these bands.
You don't need that for a festival. You need the reason. And actually, I really like Crawling in the Dark and Same Direction. Like Who was think had some I don't know other songs, but I really like those two. The reason I'd not like because I worked in a stop and shop and heard it 18 times a day for 15 years.
And Same Direction was on The Reason, right?
Uh
Or was on the first album.
there was the one
Crawling in the
with
Dark was
like
phenomenal though.
yeah, there was the one with like the dude on the front like crouching down. Yeah, that White Album. Obviously, when you hear the White Album, you think of Hoobastank.
A lot of weird
What they're
crouching
known
down
for.
albums back then too. Like Creed had like My Own Prison with a guy crouching in a prison cell.
I cannot think of other Crouching albums off the top of my head. I wish I could. I
That'll
wish
be
I
our
had
next
that
draft
knowledge.
episode.
Crouching albums. That'll be the Thanksgiving special. I'll think of some. I'll think of some before this podcast ends. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of Jankos at this concert. Probably sneak in like entire handles in Jankos and get away
And
with it.
I'm surprised Limp Bizkit's not there.
Yeah, them and a Slipknot, I figure will be when they announce the lineup for the following year in like a week.
I don't know. I feel like Slipknot's kind of like they evolved out of that. And a lot of these bands have stayed in it. Although Deftones are there, they've kind of moved away too. But
Yeah, I I don't know. I think Slipknot could definitely like headline this, but then you would just get like all the Slipknot fans like overtaking it, like when
the
Fish headlined
maggots,
Bonnaroo. And it's just like you could tell who's there for the one band and who's there for the festival
that
because
had to
they
be a
have like
sight.
yeah, they have that like crazy following. Slipknot, like the same kind of deal. Oh, it looks cool. I'm glad they keep doing these. I just wish they were around here, but I'm kind of almost glad it's not, so I don't have to worry about it.
We need a festival grounds in the tri-state area.
True. Yeah, we don't really have,
What's
I
our
don't know.
closest? What's that island where you've seen shows?
Oh, Randall's Island,
Randall's Island.
which I don't know if that's the same as Governor's Island or not. Because you would think the Governor's Ball would have been on Governor's Island, which is also like a thing. But oh, it says Randall's Island Park on the poster. So maybe the park is on, I don't know,
Was Randall a governor?
maybe,
I
maybe not.
have to Google that.
I'd vote for a governor who
Had an
just through
island.
festivals. You see our we don't want to get too political on this podcast, but I saw our current president, Mr. Joe Biden, is announced something about cracking down on Ticketmaster, which is just like super pandering, but I don't even care because it's pandering to me.
Yeah,
So he's like student loans and Ticketmaster. I'm like, well, you know how to reach some of us.
that can be the Pearl Jam bill.
It should absolutely be called like PJ 456. Like,
PJ10.
that'd be great. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you can do, but we'll see.
I
I'm
guess
like,
they probably could be sued for being a monopoly at this point. Like I think there's laws still prohibiting that, and they pretty much are a monopoly
yeah,
or acting as one. Because don't they own Live Nation too?
yeah. Or
Yeah,
they're like
so
partner, like yeah, they're combined at this point. So who knows? I don't know. I'm like, we've talked about it a lot, but I'm just sticking to like small shows for now.
yeah,
I'm good with that. Like this band Microwave that I've been super addicted to. We were talking today. I'm like years late on these guys, but I can guarantee you they're gonna come around and it's gonna be like $20 and I will be there. I don't need Ticketmaster to do that.
hopefully at the
Well,
Pony.
might. That yeah, that I want to see that they just toured with 4 Year Strong, but I want to see them like play their own songs.
They're very very good. I'm surprised you never listened to them before.
I listen to them like here and there, but I never got like hooked, I guess. But this past weekend, I was listening to the Mezingers EP, which we'll get to in a little bit, and they auto played after. I was like, I should give these guys like another listen, like actually like pay attention. And they're like all I've been listening to.
Is
They're
it Stovall?
yeah,
Yeah.
that
It's the
so
one that people love. That
I
one.
was I was listening to that one and the other one, Much Love.
Much love. I
That
loved
was the
much
one like
love.
I kind of knew. So I was listening to those two for like the past like week. And then today actually I put on Death is a Warm Blanket because that's like their newest album, even though it's 2019. And
Is their
holy
heaviest.
shit,
Yeah.
this album is amazing. It's just like they captured like 90s grunge so well without like sounding like they're trying to do 90s grunge. Like it feels like brand new or like sorority noise as I just named problematic bands, but like it has that like type of like quiet to loud angstiness and like the guitars are so fuzzy and they kick in and like when he's screaming on this album, you could like he's screaming because it's how he feels. It's not just like screams would be cool here. Like there is so much feeling in this album. I I can't get enough of it. And it's such a different step from like their other two.
Like a hotelier scream that he
Yeah,
has almost.
it's it's unreal. Like there's a song on it, Pull, and it's just like it's slow at first, and then by the end he's just like screaming and the guitars are kicked in and it's unreal. And like the lyrics are very like I've talked about depressing lyrics and trying to have hope. There's no hope on this album.
No.
There's
Hence the
no hope.
name.
Yeah.
Death is a warm blanket.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no hope. This one line, I found my niche in this pile of shit. I've got nothing left to prove, but there's just nothing else I really want to do. So this is what I do. Oh my God.
Doesn't get darker than that.
Oh my God. It's insane. Um, these drugs will be the death of us, at least whatever's left of us. Jesus Christ. That was off Stovall. But yeah, these guys are and then Leather Daddy, like the opening song, has this like El Scorcho riff. If like Weezer cranked their gain up to 10 and like started doing hard drugs.
Again.
I I can't get enough of these guys. It's so good. But it got me thinking because the band's name is Microwave.
They should tour
Which
with Oven.
is there a band called Oven?
I don't know. Let's find out.
It got me thinking like of band names that are just so I hate to say bad, but kind of. I mean, Microwave kind of works if you put it in like a 90s grunge sort of like just feels like it works. But band names that you hear or see or read and you just instantly kind of get turned away from the band. And you shouldn't, but it kind of happens because you can't help but judge. I see you looking for a band name Oven, by the way.
I'm not finding one though. So any up and coming band, it's available.
Can you think of any band names that are just like we listened to Prince Daddy and the Hyenas this year. Like that's a band name
That
that
was
like
one
I
of them I was thinking of.
not not a great band name.
The world is.
Say the whole thing. The world is a beautiful place, and I'm no longer
The world's
afraid
a
to die.
people. I can never say it
Like
without like stumbling over it. That's
can't
how
even
long it
can't
is.
even say it. That's how bad it is. Soccer Mommy, another band we listened to this year. Not a great name,
Could
but
say the Foo Fighters too.
yeah, I I thought you were gonna say that one because there's that clip of Dave Grohl like hating the name.
I
He's like, we
believe
didn't.
it's in his book. He actually talks about it some more.
He's like, we didn't think this name was gonna.
I would have never named it that if I knew how big we were gonna be.
I remember early on when I was like first getting into music, we were seeing it's like Bless the Fall and Escape the Fate, like back when Ronnie was in Escape the Fate, and this band Dance Gavin Dance was opening, and I just wanted nothing to do with them because of their name. And that was a big miss on my part, but stupid name. I thought it was like some electronic, like
You would think from the name.
yeah, like because that was the Bamboozle days, so I thought they were like 303 and like that kind of like party anthem type music. I don't know. I was wrong. They're not that at all. And they're a great band. I also have Trash Boat on my list.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And they're much better than their band name is.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw them on the Newfound Glory tour years ago, pre-COVID.
The album shows, which are awesome.
Yeah. Uh Mom Jeans. I've never listened to them,
No, I
but
haven't
people
either.
really like
That's a good
them.
one though.
It's a horrible name.
Front Bottom's good name.
I love them too much to put them on the list. Not a great name. Well, no, it is a great name, but
It is. It's a pretty funny name.
they made it a great name. Like same with like Microwave. I'm loving their music so much that now I'm like, this just works. Like own it.
Three Doors Down.
Nonsense name. It makes sense. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have too many more, but oh, there's a band called Car Seat Headrest that people
They're
love.
very good.
Yeah. Horrible name.
Killer Whales, great song.
Yeah, I definitely need to dig into them. I feel like they're winter music, right? Maybe.
You can go either way.
Yeah.
They have a couple different sounds.
All right. Yeah, I don't know too much about them. I always just thought they were like kind of on the quieter side. But yeah, I'm listening to a ton of Microwave. So check them out,
But not
even
Oven.
if you haven't. Not Oven. We're gonna think of a band that would tour with them. That would make sense. Like I don't know yet. But it'll come to us.
Give us to the end of the episode.
Yeah. What what have you been listening to this week, Brett?
So I went hard into concert prep on Thursday and Friday
Um,
before the Menzingers 10th anniversary of On the Impossible Past. So what I did is I've been doing this with concerts now. So I make a playlist and instead of like album hopping, and then like all I see in my recently played is that band's albums. I make a playlist and throw every single album of that artist on that playlist, and then just like jump around or let them play through.
rather than just like
So
copying the set list.
yeah, so I've been trying to be better with my set list cheating. Although it's like you know they're playing on the Impossible Pass in full, so you
Yes.
know that had to be one of the albums you listen to. But the Menzingers are another one where they mix up their set list every night too, so it doesn't matter even if you do check. There'll be some similarities, but they're gonna change up at least 2 to 3 of the songs they play, which is what they end up doing here. But so I've been listening to a lot of Menzingers and Touché Amoré who opened up, which
How you been
really
liking
fun
them?
to jump back into them because I forgot how much I love that band. And they sound exactly the same way they sound in their albums in person. There's like he doesn't hold back on his screams, like that's the way he sings.
Oh, hell
And
yeah.
it's earth shattering, just like the album versions.
I need to get into them more. I think I would like them.
Yeah, and I really want to see a headline show now. And like their set, they had a 12-song set list. They were done in a half hour. That's how short like
Wow,
some of the songs are.
that's crazy. Did they have an album that was like a lot of spoken word stuff, or am I mixing them up with someone? I thought they had an
You might
album
be
that
mixing.
like
They speak sometimes a little bit, but it's like he'll speak and then like he jumps into a screaming part.
uh, maybe I mixed them up.
Because like stage four is like one of the most like perfect examples of like dealing with grief in music form. Like because that whole album is about when his mom died of stage four cancer, and the whole thing is him basically going through each stage of
Oh wow.
grief, and it ends with acceptance. And like there's like a part on I think it's New Halloween's a song where it's like I've never brought myself to be able to listen to the last like message from you. Get like a voicemail on the phone from his mom they never listened to,
Holy shit.
and the album ends with that voicemail.
Oh my God.
So it's like it's a devastating album, but it's like incredibly powerful, and like I recommend it to anybody who's like ever lost someone because it's kind of like it makes you feel better knowing you're not the only one that's felt that, and knowing that in the end it's ultimately going to be okay.
Wow.
Sorry to get deep there, but
Yeah, no. Well, that's amazing that like artists can channel that into great art.
it's a I think that album's a masterpiece. And I
Wow.
don't say that for like a lot of albums, but that one will always be a masterpiece to me.
Damn.
And
I
they were
gotta
even
check that
better
one out.
live, so it was a nice bonus, and I'm glad I finally got to see them in person.
How was how were the Mezingers? Like obviously they played Impossible Past, crushed
So
it.
they were awesome, of course. But it was wild to me though. It's like so you would think people would mosh like crazy to Touche Amore,
Yeah.
but the crowd was rowdier for the Menzingers, which I guess makes sense considering they're the headliner. But I would still think people would be like bouncing around to like to how Touche Amore's music is. But like once the obituaries came on and like Burn After Writing, people were going like ape shit.
Oh my God.
And it was just such a great crowd. It's like I forgot how small the House of Independence is.
Yeah.
It's like a closet.
It really is. It's like a small hallway.
Like, do you remember it being that small? Like, I don't remember it being that small for Wonder Years, but
No, I
it
don't
is.
I don't either. But when I was there for Amberlin a few months ago,
Did you think it shrunk?
yeah, absolutely did.
And it's not a great setup either. Like, you have like this narrow staircase that goes downstairs, and there's like a back way you will walk where like the staircase is
Yeah, yeah,
wider. But it's just a really weird setup. But it's still awesome because it's like you're seeing one of your favorite bands in a closet. It's like
yeah.
Crossroads, kind of. It's like
And there's like
Crossroads actually has
no,
more open space. I feel like.
was there any space between the stage and the crowd? Because there wasn't, I don't
No,
think there
I was
was
going to
for
bring that
Amberlin.
up on this as I go over the show. So, anyway, so like they of course they play on the Impossible Past. It was awesome. Everyone just shouting everywhere at the top of their lungs. The band killed it. They were having a great time on stage. As I said though, the crowd was rowdy. So of
Yeah.
course there's like some crowd surfers, and they'd get up and they were literally standing on the stage next to the band,
Oh my
and would
God.
then like just jump back in the crowd.
That's
And like
awesome.
Parko and I are standing there like shouldn't there be like some not to sound like like
Like a narc?
old men here or narcs, but like we're like, shouldn't there be like security and like in front of the stage by the band? I mean, it
No way,
is
man. It's punk rock.
2022. It is punk rock, but like World's a scary place now.
The band was
The
about it
world's a
though.
beautiful place, and we are no longer afraid to die.
So the band wasn't having a horrible time.
No, they're having a great time.
Oh, that's good. Because I could see like being concerned with a bunch of strangers coming on stage, but like people have been doing that forever. Then you just jump
Yeah,
back in.
but there are points at the end, like when they were playing after the party, like Greg Barnett had to stop playing guitar so a girl like wouldn't hit her head on the stage when
Oh
like
my
she got
God.
thrown up there. So he's like strumming and singing, and then he stops, catches her, pushes her back in the crowd, then goes back to singing again. Then she comes back up. He stops again, and Parko and I were like, "This is just insane. Like, there's no one that's gonna help with security, I guess." But punk rock.
Yeah, that's that's awesome. I wish I was there.
We missed you. Like, we actually missed the first screaming females who I've been meaning to get back into because I liked them back in 2015.
Dude, they are really good. I binged them for like a couple weeks.
Yeah, I need to get back into them. And we missed them because like
Um,
Parko and I were sitting in Ale House
what was the
just
album?
talking music for like 2 hours for the show. We got so into like our conversation we forgot like to go in at 8. So
Just doing the pod.
doing the pod pretty much.
Yeah, this album All at Once is so good. This too gave me like heavy 90s vibes, this band.
I gotta listen again because I know like Brian Fallon shared
Yeah.
a picture with her from the first night they played
And
that third the Thursday night show.
they're from New Jersey also.
I think they play Montclair all the time.
Yeah, I think that's where they're from, like New Brunswick area.
Ah, that's why Fallon knows her.
Yeah. Oh, you should have not missed them. That's okay.
I'm sure they'll tour with another band we like soon.
Yeah,
On Gaslight's next when this album drops and they go on tour again.
that'd be cool. Did Mezingers play like Lookers or anything
Oh,
after
I forgot to
part?
mention that. So yeah,
Because
so
like
they
they sing about the Wonder Bar and stuff, right?
they do. So they kick off with On the Impossible Pass, so they play that straight and they play 4 songs before the encore. So Lookers was one.
Nice.
They also played I Don't Want to Be an Asshole Anymore, House is on Fire,
Nice.
In Remission,
Nice.
and then
Telling
they
lies.
yep, they encored with Telling Lies,
Yeah.
Lookers, and After the Party.
What if they were just like, we're just gonna play after the party too?
They should.
That would be sick.
That would be so. I've been having this debate in my head, and I know the answer is no. But like, is there a perfect concert
Like like I need more like of the Mezingers or just like in the universe.
in the universe? Like, I guess it also depends on.
It's like an
Or
episode on
how
its
about
own.
this? Like, seeing your favorite band. Is there a perfect concert you could see from one of your bands, or is it not?
Uh
Is there always be something they didn't play that prevents it from not being perfect?
uh
Because Parko had some, like when he got to see like Blue Album all played live, like front to back and Pinkerton. I feel like that's pretty close, but at the same time, like I don't think he got them both the same night.
yeah.
I know it's a really it's I've been having the internal debates. I know it's a hard question.
It is tough because it does depend on like the stage of the band. Like I remember I saw the front bottoms when Talon of the Hawk was out and they played I think they played like all of self-titled and all of Talon of the Hawk. And the only thing they didn't play was like um basement basement. I forget the name of that one. Um Swinging like a fist fight, concrete colored basement. All right, all right. Let's keep this clean. As clean as you're gonna make me sing the whole song.
Why am I blanking on what it's called?
No, it's okay. But so we were hanging out with them like after the show because it was like still early on in their career. So we are just like outside the pony, like and they were just shooting the shit. I was like, oh, like you didn't play this song. And he's like, dude, you picked the one song we have that we didn't play. Like he's like, it's a weird time signature, and we just didn't want to like deal with it. It's like we played everything we have. I was like, oh, I just was curious. I'm sorry. So there might always be something. Um,
Baseball bat? No,
No, god damn. It's off self-titled. Who can find it? Who can find it? I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. The boredom is the reason I started
that's it. Yeah,
swimming. It's also the reason I started sinking.
but we got that live last time we saw them
Yeah.
because they
So they
played the
must
whole
have
album.
learned how to play it since 2013. But yeah, so all that to say, there probably always will be something you would, but that's like part of what keeps you going to shows
It's
and like
true.
seeing bands is chasing that perfect set list and like hoping you get to hear that real like deep cut that you love so much. Like that's why people see Fish a gazillion times. And like I
You
think
never
this,
know what they're gonna play.
yeah, I think the same logic applies to a lot of bands. It's just a lot of bands don't switch up the set list day to day. So instead you see them once a tour instead of following them around all summer like a weirdo.
But that leads you to like my last point on the show. So obviously I was happy with that set list, but at the same time I kind of realized like as you get into a band like earlier in their career, it's exciting to see them celebrate an album from 10 years ago, but also you realize with each new album they put out, you're going to hear fewer and fewer songs from those older albums. Like I was
Yeah.
really hoping for the Saturday night show they're going to pull out like The Shakes or Irish Goodbyes or some kind of B-side from like maybe like Chamberlain Waits, but it was just pretty much After the Party, Rented World, and all of On the Impossible Pass. But
Yeah.
which is I love all three of those albums and I'm happy, but at the same time I was like, man, I wish they really threw in some deep cuts there just to
Yeah.
celebrate this anniversary a little more.
It doesn't get easier to hear old songs.
No, it doesn't. Oh, they played Anna too. I forgot about that one.
Oh, nice.
That was the only one off Hello Exile.
Yeah, it is. That's just like a reality of it. And like you gotta just hope you like the new stuff. Like Rise Against when we see them. Like I see them every summer. You're usually there. Like I wish they would play more of their new stuff at these shows. Like they almost are the opposite problem, but it's just as like the catalog grows, the chances of you getting like that perfect set list just shrink unless you're such a big fan of the band that you love and know every single
Everything.
song. But like I don't know. I've been seeing some like front bottom set lists lately that I'm like, oh, I would be pretty disappointed if like that's what they played.
And mostly new stuff.
Uh yeah, it was just their choices weren't songs that I would be super like psyched about, and it happened to like culminate all into like one set list. But then again, like I'm saying that as someone who wasn't there. Like if you're there, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But
And I feel like we got spoiled for the blast show we were at, getting
which
self-titled on full as an
oh
encore out
yeah.
of nowhere when no one
Yeah.
expected it.
Yeah, that was one of like the best surprises I think I've ever gotten at a concert.
I feel like for them to disappoint me, they'd have to play like Going Gray in full.
Hey,
Because that's the
going
only album I haven't loved of theirs.
go you should try it again. I think it's a great
Like I love
I
Vacation
don't know.
Town, but I feel
Vacation
like the rest of it just
Town,
kind of blended
Grand
in.
Finale, Trampoline, Far Drive. Yeah, I guess like it's definitely my least favorite of their albums, but I wouldn't I
I
wouldn't
don't
say I
hate
don't
it.
like
I
it.
just think
Yeah.
it's just not up to their usual par.
Yeah. They're actually due. Uh
They're due. Menzingers are due.
they do Front Bombs usually do like every 2 years, maybe three. Looks like two, but I think COVID was a 3 year gap for the last one, but I think we should see something from them next year. And they do those EPs, so they still like give new music, but
And we had that this year, right? We talked about it on the show.
yeah. Um Speaking of new EPs and new albums, should we talk about how Drake might have put out the worst and best album of the year all in one year?
I think that's fair. That's a very fair statement to say about this.
at least in the rap genre. But like this new album is really good.
It's everything we hoped for at the end of last week's episode was this. And he even like acknowledged it, like he had that spoken
Yeah.
part about like
Why are you
bars.
making techno? He had that line in there.
That was all of us.
Yeah.
Or well, most his fans. Or
Well,
just maybe I'll just speak for us, but
my cousin was saying because I like said that same thing to him, and he's like Drake is like this is was his justification as a fan, whether or not it's true or not. But I thought it was interesting was that he's like to him he's worldwide, like he's bigger than just like the US or North America. So he wanted to make an album of a different type of music that he liked that would still appeal to a lot of people. And that's what my cousin said. So
honestly, never mind.
whatever, her loss. No, this album, I feel like he took all the criticism and just like was like, you guys want bars, you want rapping, like here you go. And he brought it and it doesn't like take itself super seriously either. Like there's like fun lines and like so many like memorable lines that are like
They're hilarious.
there's so so many good ones. Um and
I
the
should have wrote
product
down so.
I wrote down a bunch, don't
Oh,
worry.
good. Okay.
And the production on like the production on the album is awesome. Like it I was almost tempted to say that it like carries the album, but I don't think that's true because I think everyone brings it like Drake, 21 Savage, and the the beats are just unreal. And like the beat changes throughout the album are my favorite. Like
I love when
there
he does that.
there are so many points like when I was listening that you just make like that face that like, like you smelled something bad. You're just like, oh shit. Like literally like stopping what I'm doing and just like taking a second to be like, whoa, that just happened. Like
Like on Rich
there's
Flex, like halfway through it where the tone changes.
yes, yeah, Rich Flex. I think the first track had a really good beat change. The one with 21 Savage had like an insane beat change, which I whatever 21 Savage. What Travis Scott, I mean. Um, the one with Travis Scott.
The 21 Savage.
It's
Or 21 Scott, I mean.
21 Scott. No, but it also like felt like a Drake album that just featured some of 21 Savage. Like I don't know that I'd call it like a split album, but
There's a
they
lot of Drake.
they played like so well off each other. Like it just really like made the album more listenable for me, having them to bounce off each other. I would have liked a little more 21 Savage. I think that seemed to be like the case for a lot of people.
Yeah, it
But
left me wanting more. Like I've never really listened to him before. And this kind of wanted me like left me wanting to go listen to his like solo stuff.
yeah, I almost did today, but we had so much to talk about, so I'm like I'll just save this. But I do want to dig into him because like he was another one where like most of his lines like he feels like kind of like a joker and like he's talking about like girls and stuff. Like he literally like it took him like I think it was like 30 seconds before he was calling people pussies on the album. Like, and just like the 21 that's like in the back of like all his beats is so good. But then on what was the song? Is it like 3 a.m. or something like that? The one that was just him. Um he got like real in it. So I'm like, oh, so like he has that 3 a.m. on Glenwood
That's
it's
it.
called.
Yeah.
That was just him. And like it just showed like range for me for him. Like he's not just someone who's gonna like have punchlines and jokes, but like also can get real about shit. I think he was like talking about like his kids on that song and like I don't know. That was what made me want to go listen to more of him, which I plan to do. But
Exactly the way I felt listening to him.
yeah. But so oh man, I don't even know where to start. There were some great lines though. Like no boo, like we get in sushi. such a such a good one. Um 21 Savage had an amazing line. I never show ID at clubs because they know I'm 21. Amazing.
That's a
Like
great one.
amazing. Line of the year. Um uh Drake referred to his mom as he goes, my uncle's sister knows she raised a real one. Just like why? I jump on that song and make the label think they need you. Um Serena Williams' husband just like catching a stray bullet.
Oh, I saw that
Who's also
or
like
read that.
the
Yeah,
founder of Reddit. I never knew that until today.
I didn't know that till right now.
Yeah. Um I think 21 had a line, I can't write my wrongs, but I can write these hooks. That was pretty good. And
I
then
need to
like
dig into these lyrics some more because there were so many. Like I just, but there's like 21 songs, so
yeah.
21 songs. But
Uh
but
no,
he had
there
like some good like sports references that were pretty funny. But I forgot to write them down.
there were a lot of good moments. Yeah, Rich Flex you mentioned before. The beat switch up to that on that into like that nasty piano is so
It's
good.
so good.
And then on BS, Drake has like this acapella part, and then it just goes into the beat drop, and it's so good. And then he has the line, "I blow 500,000 on these hoes. I'm a feminist." Um,
But even like the slow songs are good on this, like "Spin About You" and "Hours in Silence." Like even those like weren't skippable tracks. Like I still enjoyed those when they came on. It was like a good little break in all the
yeah,
beats.
it definitely fit like the the whole of the album well. But I think "Hours in Silence" is probably like my least favorite.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still one I wouldn't skip over. So like, I kind of like it as a whole.
Yeah,
That makes sense
yeah. No, it does. It was just I just can't believe how much I like this. Like
compared to what we listened to a couple months ago.
I'm definitely like a casual Drake fan, and I'm one of those fans who's just like, I liked If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, and like that's about all I know, which surprisingly, like, or not surprisingly, I don't know, but like reading the internet after this, like there's a lot of people in that same boat who just like really like that album and just like whatever. Like I'm sure there's other songs that are like that album scattered throughout his stuff, but that was the only Drake album I ever like listened to on repeat.
It's still one of his best.
Yeah. But
I just think it's like fascinating how like the last song on Honestly Nevermind was Jimmy Cooks with 21 Savage, and it was like far and away the best song on that album. And he just like
hmm.
pretty much took that and then made a full album of Jimmy Cooks, which is like pretty much what we asked for when we reviewed Honestly Nevermind. Like,
Uh,
why couldn't we get a full album worth of songs like this? And little did we know, a couple months later, her loss comes along.
I'm trying to find. I have one more line. Oh, short rigatoni with the pesto. The first martini is an espresso. Relatable,
That should be a T-shirt.
relatable. It's just so good. Like I'm gonna continue listening to this.
I am
Like I'm
too.
excited to put this back on. Which I just
Excited to learn the lines more.
yeah yeah. It's gonna be like Drake and Microwave. Oh, Microwave should tour with Meatloaf.
Meatloaf died though.
Well, whatever. Microwave Meatloaf, Brett. That's the joke. All right, they can't tour with Meatloaf. I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking about the name and how that's something you
It
put in the
would have worked
microwave.
if he was still here.
Fine.
R.I.P.
You can't put Pearl Jam in a microwave, can you? That wouldn't really be
No,
good.
I don't think so.
Damn. All right, we'll keep
We're getting
brainstorming.
there.
Uh, what else do we have this week?
That
Uh,
On the Possible Past drop finally on streaming.
oh oh yeah, we should have talked about that like 10 minutes ago. But yeah, so that was just all B-sides from their wait, what was it called?
So it's On the Possible Past.
Oh, okay.
Basically, these are all the demos that
I heard
eventually
you.
would
Yeah.
become On the Impossible Past.
That's cool. Like I liked hearing the stripped down versions. Like I don't know. It made me just want to put on the actual album, to be honest.
I always love this one because like you kind of see how the songs like grew from this point, although some of them like rarely changed. Like it
Yeah,
just took a matter of them adding the full band.
yeah,
Although some of them I feel like Casey, I can't seem to tell like good things I thought were standouts on this. Like Casey, it's like this version kind of made me love the song even more because you kind of get to appreciate it lyrically and the guitars on that, even though like I love like the regular version too. It's just this one hits a little differently.
yeah,
It's like almost stronger emotionally a little bit to me.
yeah. You can lean into the lyrics more, like
Yeah.
you just said. Yeah,
And I can't seem to tell. I just love like the sound of the acoustic guitar on that one. And
yeah.
like and meanwhile, in like the recorded version, like that bass is like my favorite part of the song. And like that's not on this, but like the guitar, the acoustic guitar, they're just strumming like so heavily on that that it works like almost the same. But it's cool how they would take that and be like, why don't we just do this with the bass line? And that's
Kind of
what they
makes you
did.
wish they would put out an acoustic album.
Could be. We're
I
due
mean,
for
this
one.
basically is an acoustic album, but to like polish the songs more.
We got In Exile, which is they did like acoustic different versions of the Hello Exile songs during COVID.
Uh, well, I didn't listen to that album.
It's on Spotify if you ever are in an easygoing mood.
Oh, From Exile. There it is.
That's it. But In Exile is that Rolling Stones? Who is that? No, that's Exile on Main Street.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone has an In Exile. I don't know who it is though.
I don't know. We'll find it in the microwave. So did we? I think we decided on a book for the book club.
We did, thanks to an assist from friend of the pod, Nick Parka.
Waiting patiently for winter season. Get him back on.
He did not listen to
The leak.
the leak.
Nice.
In fact, he forgot he sent it to us. He was like, "There's a leak out." I'm like, "You sent this to us."
Oh, ridiculous. Yeah, you want to let the listeners know what we decided
So we decided it's going to be none of the books that we talked about on last episode.
in
Instead,
classic
we're going
form.
to do The Storyteller, which was Dave Grohl's book that came out this year. Because Parko hyped it up and like his eyes lit up when he asked me if I read this book, and he rattled off a couple stories from it. And I was like, wow, I can't wait to read this. If like this is some of the stuff in the book.
I
I'll
I
just leave you hanging there. I won't spoil anything. But
I love this choice because it's not like correct me if I'm wrong, but this isn't a Dave Grohl biography or like the history of Nirvana or like how Foo Fighters happened because he has those out already. This
yep,
is just like short stories from the road.
pretty much. And then he does talk about Nirvana a little bit, which is what
Well,
kind of
yeah,
wrote me in. Uh, but yeah, it's pretty much just stories of I guess being on the road and being in a band, and there's some stuff about his mom in there too. Uh, some Taylor stuff, but it's not like this came out a couple months before Taylor passed away. Like that would have been a whole other part of
yeah,
this, I'm sure, if it came out after that. But
yeah.
he really talked it up, but I'm excited to read it. So I think this is a good first choice for us.
And the cover has him
Turn
wearing
sideways.
glasses, turned sideways, staring thoughtfully into the distance, maybe looking at a cloud shaped like a coffee pot or something. Can't confirm what he's looking at, but he's really looking out over there.
Good old Dave. So how do we want to handle this? Are we going to break it up into parts? We're going to read the whole thing and then discuss? What are you
I,
thinking?
I think we should break it up into parts. I don't
Parts are definitely easier.
I don't have the book yet, so like I can't figure out exactly how we should break it up. But we could do like I read everything on Kindle, so I think of books now in percentages.
Kindle Roy.
The yes, Kindle Roy, the real one. Uh,
Damn it, Brett.
I can't wait for that to come back. God damn it. How am I supposed to talk? Let's talk with these jokes being thrown at me. Yeah, so we could you son of a gun. Uh
So
anyway.
parts. We'll do parts.
We'll do parts. We'll do like, read a quarter of the book by this point.
I was
Quarter of the
thinking
book.
maybe the show after Thanksgiving weekend. It's the first quarter, if you will. I
Yeah,
figure that's a good weekend to just kind of veg out and take some chunks out of this.
yeah. Um,
And for the listeners too.
yeah, exactly. Hopefully some of our friends will read along with us. If not, as we promised last week, we'll read it for you. So
That's it.
we
Spark
can just
notes.
tell you the stories, but we'll leave out the best stories. No. No, we won't hold you hostage. Um, yeah, cool. It's exciting. We'll I'll put on like Instagram or mostly Instagram because that's just where I like to post, but how we want to like break it up exactly once we get our hands on the book.
I have it over here, so I could probably look at it tonight and then
Nice.
text you a breakdown.
I might try and go to the library. I'm always buying books, but there's a library like right around the corner.
I do the same. Like we go to the library, but I still end up buying books. I'm like, oh, I want to support this author, so I'll buy it. But
Yeah,
me knowing I'm probably only going to read it once.
I need to support my mortgage.
Yeah, that's how I feel now too.
Patreon.com
Only
slash
Stephen
general
Hyden.
admission. No, it's not a thing yet. But
Wait, did you say Patreon?
it's at patreon.com slash general admission. Subscribe to us and we'll sing you a song. L to the OG. It's
N
Kendall
to the
Roy
O D G
callback.
E.
N to the OG.
N to the O D G E.
All right. We've reached the point of the show where we are completely off the rails. Oh, I had some news. Nothing crazy, but a little Blink 182 talk real quick before we wrap it up for the week. Edging success has put Blink into a very elite group for the Billboard alternative charts who have a hit number one song in 4 different decades. All the Small Things in the 90s, I Miss You in the 2000s, Bored to Death in the 10s, and now Edging in the 20s. Brett, can you think of 2 other bands in the same Blink vein that may have accomplished this goal? This is the Quiz Brett episode.
So it's two bands in
Yeah, I
four
don't,
decades.
yeah, there might
Okay.
be, I don't know if there's more, but these were the 2 that were included in the article. It seemed
You
very obvious after reading them.
you too?
No, think more Blink 182.
Green Day?
Green Day is one. And another band who puts out so many songs, it's probably not
What
even a
was the
surprise.
what was the recent Green Day one?
Uh, I don't know,
Was it
something
off
off,
their weird last album?
probably like Still Breathing off Rev Radio. When was that? When did that come out?
That was 2010s, right?
Oh, damn. That was a long time ago.
Might be Ready, Aim, Fire, or
Unless they had a song in
Ready,
like,
Fire, Aim,
oh,
maybe.
maybe. I was gonna say unless they had a song in like the late 80s, but they definitely didn't. They were still like playing high school shows. Which if you look up Green Day High School, there's a really cool video of them playing at their high school and like no one giving a shit. But
I gotta look that up.
it's just super cool to watch, like knowing where they go.
We'll definitely look that up. I think Chili Peppers. Is my
Yeah,
next guess? Yeah.
that's the
Okay.
other one. Damn. I'm gonna start coming up with quizzes every week because it's very fun to listen to you get the right answers. You crushed the first quiz today.
I got to quiz you next week in return.
Oh no. What's the thing that people always say? I'm not stupid, I'm just not a good test taker. Oh, you mean the thing we use to measure
To
intelligence?
measure.
You're not good at that? No, I'm down for a quiz. You quizzed me on like one of our first episodes
I did.
with your made up
Yeah.
songs.
The made up band names.
How was it? Yeah. Before we go, any last things to put in the microwave? Pork and beans? Not a not a bad name.
You can't microwave red hot chili peppers, right?
Nah. I mean, maybe if they're like on like a rice bowl. You can't microwave cranberries. Would you want to microwave cake? No.
No, right?
Oh man, we're definitely missing a real obvious one. Man, meatloaf would have been so good.
Bowling for soup.
Ooh,
If
ooh.
they were just called soup, though, right?
That I mean that's definitely our best one so far. I don't even recognize any of these. I looked up a list. I looked up a list.
And there's just nothing recognizable.
No, not at the portion of the list I'm at. It just looks like I might just be on a food list at this point. Blue Oyster Cult. Gross.
Corn.
Ah, we've brought the show full circle. We knew this episode was on the cob. Boom. And they call it the
There we go.
popcorn tour. Bam. Thanks for listening,
End of
everybody.
pod.
We'll see you next week. We're going out on top in the microwave on the popcorn tour. We love you.
Should be picture with difference.